What up? We're going to set up the Hovland Ram. The Hovland Ram is the all-mountain board. It has a slightly longer ski than the 5.0. This board is great for everything. It can handle the park. It can handle a little bit of powder. So, in my opinion, if you're just starting out, this is probably the board you want to start out with. It'll get you through everything and it's a ton of fun. So let's go over some of the pieces on your Snowskate. This is the top deck. The sub deck sits underneath the top deck and it's just sandwiched between some trucks. Yes, Snowskates have trucks, just like a skateboard. Here are the risers that sit between the truck and the top deck. And you should have some hardware as well, because you're going to need this stuff to keep your trucks on. Before we start assembling the board, I just want to make note that there is a bunch of bolt patterns on both the top deck and the bolt patterns on the bottom sub deck. The reason for these bolt patterns are for different types of skating. If you're just starting out, I suggest you use the middle bolt pattern. This is a perfect balance between popping and carving. Overall, a great way to start. The farther you move apart, it becomes a little more skate-like. Your board bends a little bit more. As you move it into the middle, you can feel there's more pop tension. So really, it's up to you. Start in the middle and then maybe move it farther out and then see what you like. The other bolt patterns allow you to adjust your top deck, lowering it back, which will help it pop, or you can move it into the center like I was saying. So first off, let's figure out where we're gonna put the trucks on my sub deck and get those tightened on. Before you put your trucks on, make sure they're facing the right way. You can see the slight angle on the truck. Make sure that's facing out of the blade, so that gives you the little bounce for your pop. You could try starting it out in this middle bolt pattern. I personally set it back a little bit, just so I have a little bit of a tail and I can ollie a little bit easier. Tighten these trucks down. And now we're gonna put the back truck on. Now we got our trucks tightened up on our sub deck. Time to put the top deck on. The next move now is just adding the hardware. Place the risers on the trucks. Now just to tighten down the hardware. Now that the board's all set up, it should look a little something like this. Last thing we need to do is put on a leash. And finally, loop through the leash on the tail of your skate. When you're riding, attach this to your back hip. It's best to attach it to your belt rather than a belt loop. And now we're ready to ride.